Day 1777 of What She Up To Now, documenting the journey as I transitioned originally in 2017 from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. I like to hop on because I have vision challenges, and it's a way for me to document my journey versus trying to write down and then try to read what I write and keep track of what works, what doesn't work. But I like to share the lessons that I've learned along the way, right? What works, what doesn't work, as I'm building and growing and supersizing my businesses and helping other people do the same. So today, 2 pieces of content I share every day. One is with my Supersize Your Business group, and I share an idiom every day. I started doing it a couple of years ago when I was moving because I needed a way to create content quickly but still show up for the group. And I really liked it, right? I love words and communication, and I think it's one of our core skills. The better we get at it, the better our life goes for the most part. We understand ourselves better. We communicate both with ourselves better as well as with other people. We can build bridges and understanding. And so communication, I added actually to my core goals. I had 7 areas of my life that I used to work on: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. And in 2021, I added confidence and communication because I'm like, all right, I want to get better every day, a little bit every day, in the areas of confidence and communication. When we have confidence and we believe in ourselves and our identity, life becomes a whole lot easier, right? We do what's right for us, and we listen to ourselves. We communicate better with ourselves. We have more positive self-talk, more affirmations, things like that, if we work on those 2 core skills. So I added those to my overarching long-term legacy goals and objectives, which means, just like the annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, I do a little teeny something every day to work on those areas and aspects of my life. It's not always a big thing. Maybe it's I just read something, or I listen to a tip, or I expose myself to a different point of view. It can be super simple, or it can be I read a book about communication, or I read a book about confidence, or I take a course. But every day I want to be working on a little bit, and I try to build each of the 9 areas and aspects of my life then into my habits and the things that I do every day. So a lot of times I'll add to my affirmations. I do affirmations every day, every morning for sure. And I'll add those different things that I'm working on or thinking about to my affirmations. Affirmations are a way of communicating with ourselves. So as part of the challenge this month, we're doing the BU 365-day challenge. We're doing one thing every day that improves us and helps us become a better version of ourselves. And we went through all those 9 areas and aspects of our life. We spent a month on each one. And last month we did No Nonsense November. And this month I kind of wanted to back off a little bit and make it lighter, because this time of year we're wrapping up everything else in our lives and our businesses. We're getting ready for Christmas and the holidays and the new year. And so it can be overwhelming for a lot of people. Me too sometimes, right? So I decided I would just ask 2 questions every day as part of the challenge. Why? Because asking questions is a fantastic way to think about and analyze and decide what's right for us. Becoming a better version of ourselves is really about being ourselves, right? And being authentic and who we really are anyway, and showing up in the world that way, no matter what anybody else thinks. So asking questions is a terrific way to do that. So our questions today were, if you could be immortal, would you choose immortality? And the second one was, what's the speed of dark? So I ask a thought-provoking question and then kind of a silly rhetorical question every day. So we talked about those 2 things in the challenge. And then for Supersize Your Business, we talked about being kept in the dark, or being in the dark, not knowing something that other people are privy to. And nowadays with the internet, I mean, back in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, it was easy for other people to keep people in the dark and hoard information. It was really popular in corporate America when I was there. Certain people would be privy to certain pieces of information, and everybody else had to just figure it out, or felt like they were missing out because they didn't have certain pieces of information. Nowadays with the internet, I think it's almost impossible to have super secret information, right? Maybe governments do, but I think for most of us, if you want to know something or learn something or find something out, all you got to do is be a little creative and a little resourceful, and you can get access to just about anything you want to know. So those were our topics for keeping someone in the dark. And then I shared the story about my dad used to always call himself a mushroom when we were growing up, and he would say that we girls, because he was the only man in our family, it was my dad, and then I had 3 sisters. So there were 4 of us girls, plus my mom is 5. Plus we had girl dogs and we had girlfriends over all the time. So a lot of times he felt like he was not getting the whole story. And you know what? Sometimes he wasn't getting the whole story because we didn't always want to tell him everything, right? You want to keep some mystery from your parents and especially your dad. So when you're a girl. All right. If I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, I am traveling, so I'm going to go about my day. I've got actually a Christmas party today, so I'm pretty excited about that. But if you need anything, just let me know. I like to say I'm available. You can always Voxer me at pajamagrandma@gmail.com. If you don't know what Voxer is, it's an app on our phones. It's a walkie-talkie app. And for me personally, it is the fastest, easiest, best way to communicate with the people I'm working with, as well as I offer it up here every once in a while. I don't offer to help all the time, but I'm always available if you need help. Sometimes we just need one person we can ask a question to. We're stuck or we're struggling with something and we've been working on it for a while. And all we need to do is ask that question and it opens up everything for us. And I might not actually know the answer for you, but I guarantee you know the answer for you. And by asking it, it allows you to actually see the answer that you knew was there all along. At least that's what happens to me. I used to really be afraid to ask for help or for anything. And sometimes I still am reluctant. If you ask my kids, they're like, you never ask for help. And I try not to because I don't want to be a burden to anyone. But I found that if I'm struggling with something, especially technological or something in my business, if I just ask the question, sometimes I just have to write the question down and it opens myself up to whatever I've been blocking so that I haven't seen the answer. All right, have an awesome day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.